Hi there, and welcome to Doug Addiction, where we talk about all things health related with a focus on self-advocacy. So today is going to be kind of a follow-up to the last video that I did. In the last video, I talked about my journey with IBS and how I finally figured out what the root cause was. And I will link that video in the description if you want to check that out. So today we are going to talk about the course of treatment that I will be undergoing and that I've actually already started. If you didn't figure out from the last video, I feel that IBS is kind of just an umbrella term. I feel like it's kind of handed out when doctors don't quite know what's wrong with you or what's causing your GI symptoms. So, you might be in a state of dysbiosis, maybe you have some pathogens, some parasites, or maybe you've just had food poisoning too many times. Whatever the case may be, the doctor just doesn't know what it is. They know your guts are upset, so they tell you you have IBS. So as I said in the last video, I finally went for a GI map test, which is a poop test. So they analyze your stool and they tell you what the imbalances are, whether it be pathogens, invasive bacteria, not enough of the good bacteria, and various other levels. So the treatment, which I'm currently in the middle of right now, is through the Cellcore supplements and the Cellcore program. So my functional medicine doctor recommended this protocol, and I started the first part of the protocol, so phase 1, before I actually got my GI map results back. And this protocol is all around drainage and energy. I can just quickly read you the main goals of this protocol. So the goals are to support drainage, so provide the body with the help it needs to maintain a healthy liver and intestinal drainage. Keep unwanted elements moving easily out of the body. 2, sustain energy. Nurture the mitochondria, the cellular energy powerhouse, which need to be working optimally for healing to occur. And then 3, to minimize reactions. Support the body's innate healing ability and help it get to a place where it can do it on its own. So basically, you want your body systems to be working optimally. So when you are eliminating any of the bad bugs, any of the toxins in your body, you don't want them to be building up. You want them to be emptying out of your body. So this part of the protocol is used for that purpose. I'm gonna quickly go over the supplements that I took for the drainage portion of the protocol and just kind of let you know how they made me feel, if I felt anything, or what they're supposed to do, okay? So the first one is in this tincture here. So it's the Mito ATP. The purpose of this stuff is to increase your energy and improve mitochondria function, which is the powerhouse part of the cell, gives you your energy. Also supposed to increase your ability to detoxify. So what did I feel with this? I felt it kind of gave me an energy boost, I'll say. It kicked in there after a few days, and it didn't have any side effects, which was awesome. So I was able to keep up with the recommended dosage. So the next one is CT minerals. This just provides us with easily absorbed minerals that are essential for optimal functioning. My thoughts about this, I don't know. It's likely doing something. I doubt there's 69 plant-derived minerals. I don't feel like I was getting all of these before, likely wasn't. So actually, what I noticed when I started taking this, and I had to decrease the dosage, when I took the recommended dosage, I actually felt like my heart was pounding, like I kind of felt like my blood pressure was increasing, if that makes any sense. And I also got like a weird taste in my mouth, kind of like metallic or pennies or something. I don't know, it's probably just, you know, the minerals I was lacking in my body, things like, I don't know, copper and stuff like that. So anyhow, I had to decrease the dosage. I'm slowly bringing it back up, and I'm not noticing any of those adverse side effects, so that's great. So the next one is advanced TUDCA. TUDCA is a water-soluble bile acid. It helps stimulate the release of bile into our gut. So that just aids in the detoxification of a number of nasty substances within our body. So yeah, the interesting thing, I did some research on TUDCA, and it's actually something that a lot of bodybuilders will cycle with, particularly bodybuilders that are using anabolic steroids, just because this is like a really effective liver cleanse. So yeah, they end up having to do it, you know, a few times a year or whatever. So I think it definitely helped me with my digestion. Didn't feel like food was kind of sitting around in my stomach as much, and, you know, helped with some of the gas and bloating and that. The interesting thing about the Cellcore TUDCA is it actually has melatonin in it. And so melatonin is a substance that is produced in our body naturally. You can take it as a supplement to help, it aids in sleep and getting to sleep. Some people take it before bed. And even though it's a low dose, it's not supposed to affect your sleep cycle. I can't take it during the day. I tried taking it, you know, with my first meal, so I guess at noon or so, and I was just like ready to fall asleep at my desk in the afternoon. So yeah, so what I ended up doing is I ordered a different kind of TUDCA that doesn't have melatonin in it, and I take that for my first dose, and then at night I'll take this in the evening, because that's fine if I'm just hanging out. If I get a little sleepy, that's okay. Was also taking a biotoxin binder. So this one's really important because what it does is it kind of groups together, binds together all the toxins, which you are eliminating from your body, and that keeps them from just flowing around and causing havoc and making you feel like crap. So it binds these toxins and helps you safely eliminate them. I guess it also aids in sulfur production and has other restorative properties. So my thoughts with this supplement, I had to reduce the dosage. I was supposed to take 2 pills twice a day. I had to reduce it to 1 pill twice a day, just because I felt anxious. I would take it and I just kind of felt like I was buzzing, you know, like my heart sped up, and I just felt not good. So that's the best way to put it. But I ran it by my doctor, and she said, yeah, that's fine. As long as you're taking it, just take as much as you can tolerate. So, but yeah, important supplement. The last supplement in the drainage and energy protocol is the Inflamma Control. So this is just a bunch of different herbs to reduce inflammation in your body. Also has antioxidant properties and aids in digestion and mitochondria function. I never really got to find out what this one would do for me, if there were benefits, because this is the one I just couldn't tolerate. I would take it right after, you know, kick in, and I would feel nauseous and tired and dizzy, and I would just have to go lay down. You know, I tried it for a few days, and I was like, this is just, I don't know what it's going to do for me, but this is just not worth it. Like, there's no way I could function at work on this, which is too bad. And, you know, I'm not saying this is something that will affect everyone that way. For example, I've taken oil of oregano just when I'm sick. You know, it's supposed to boost immunity in that, and I can't tolerate that either. And it was really a similar feeling. I was just nauseous and dizzy and lethargic. So I don't think it would affect everyone that way, and I couldn't find any reviews online that said it affects other people that way, so it might just be me. And who knows, you know, maybe after I sort out my gut and get it back to better health, maybe this is something I can eventually tolerate. So that first protocol lasted about a month, and near the end of it, I got the results of my GI map test back and had another consult with my doctor. And I kind of went through my results of that in the previous video, but just quickly to give you a rundown of the things that were messed up in my gut. There's a number of opportunistic bacteria that had built up and were at elevated levels. And the GI map, you see that because they're highlighted in red, the ones that are crazy high. So there's a number of opportunistic bacteria that were causing trouble. There was also H. pylori was detected, and it wasn't at a super crazy high level, but it was detected. Had high beta glucuronidase, and that is a liver enzyme that should not be that high. It's good to have a good amount of it, but when it gets that high, it starts causing a bunch of problems. Also had high inflammation, well, not high inflammation, high normal inflammation as well. And then there's detected that there is undigested fats that were coming out of my stool, which is not surprising. I know that fatty foods, like especially deep fried foods, I haven't been able to do for years because I just couldn't digest it. It would either cause me to throw up or make me feel like crap until it eventually left my body in other ways. And there was also some of the good bacterias, the normal healthy gut flora. So some of those showed that they were at lower levels as well. So then I started phase 2. So my second protocol was all about removing. So the goals of this protocol were to scrub the gut and remove the unwanted materials and buildup, remove the toxins and support kidney and liver drainage, which you had already started in the last protocol, support the microbiome by restoring a healthy balance of bacteria and microbes. During this protocol, I continued a number of the supplements from the first protocol. They carried over. So I continued with the Mito-ATP, the CT minerals, the Biotox binder, and the TUDCA. In addition, I started taking KL support, and the KL is for kidney and liver. So this obviously supports healthy kidney and liver function and allows our body to detoxify most efficiently. And it's also supposed to help alleviate the effects of die-off. So die-off symptoms come when there's harmful bacteria or pathogens in our body. So when they start to die and are eliminated from our body, sometimes these toxins are free to float about our body and will make us feel even worse. They'll make us feel like crap because that stuff is toxic. And until we can eliminate it out of our body, die-off can often make us feel even worse. So this, along with the biotoxin binder, are supposed to alleviate some of those die-off symptoms. My thoughts on this, it's probably doing what it's supposed to. I'm feeling good. This is another one where I had to lower the dosage though. Instead of taking 2 pills twice a day, I was taking 1 pill twice a day just because, again, this one made me dizzy and nauseous. I may try doing 1 pill 3 times a day just to get a little more in my body. I'll see how that goes. So now we get to the paras. So para 1 contains mimosa pudica seeds. This is a type of seed that turns into jelly. So after you swallow it and it mixes with water and gets into your stomach and your digestive system, it turns into a jelly. And it actually binds to these pathogens and bacteria in your gut and just pulls them out and helps remove them, and you can excrete them safely. And para 2. So this one is just a mixture of really healthy, effective herbs just for detoxification. So it helps to get rid of unwanted and harmful bacteria and pathogens. And it also helps support the healthy microbes in your gut. So yeah, really awesome stuff. So my thoughts on the paras I think they're great. And actually, I had absolutely no side effects with them, which is awesome, because I felt like, well, these are the supplements that are going to be really effective in, eliminating, killing off any of the pathogens and toxins and bad bacteria that's in my body. So I was pretty stoked about that. So you have to take them first thing in the morning, empty stomach, and then later at night on an empty stomach. The only side effect I maybe noticed is, I take it in the evening on an empty stomach, and I'd kind of get some rumbling in my guts. Like it's probably just the supplements doing their thing and working. But yeah, it was loud and I could feel things moving around in there, but that's pretty minor in the big scheme of things. The paras are definitely working. I think the only really the uncomfortable part was the first day I started taking them. So I had a bowel movement before I went to work. And then I went to work, and I was actually, because I work in a number of different buildings, and I think it was at lunchtime. I was traveling to one of the other buildings I work in. When I got there, I had to use the bathroom like now. It definitely scrubbed a lot of stuff out of me. Won't get too graphic about it, but it was a photo finish. End of story. Aside from that, when I got my GI map done, they also test for parasites like worms. And they didn't detect any of the bigger pathogens like worms or anything like that. However, a few days ago, I had a bowel movement, and this is kind of funny, but I finished my bowel movement and something was still hanging out of my butt. I used a piece of toilet paper and pulled it out, and it was disturbingly long. It was probably about a foot long, maybe a little shorter, and it was stringy like a noodle, and it didn't break or anything, and I like splashed it around in the water in the toilet, holding it with some toilet paper. The only thing I can think of is that was some kind of a parasite, some kind of a worm. I wish I would have held on to it so I could have, taken it to the doctor or something like that, but I cleaned it off, but I didn't. Anyhow, that was shocking. Haven't had another one of those come out since, but yeah, I'm also going to run that by my doctor and see what she has to say about it, because it was disturbing. Also made me afraid to take a poop the next day, but I haven't seen anything else since. The last supplement that's part of the removal protocol is Hydroxygen. This stuff is supposed to increase the oxygen to our cells for proper cellular respiration. And it's also meant to target anaerobic bacteria in our guts and in our body. So a lot of the bad bugs in our body flourish in anaerobic conditions. So I guess their thinking is, you pump some oxygen in there into species that flourish in anaerobic environments, that it's not going to be good for them. It's going to kill them, and they're going to come out. However, this is another one I couldn't tolerate. It gave me a headache, gave me a wicked headache, and made me dizzy and just not feel so good. So I stopped taking it, and this was at the half of the recommended dosage, but maybe I'll try introducing it like one drop, like one drop, work my way up. I'll see how that goes. But yeah, I wasn't able to take this one, so I can't really tell you too much about it. What can I tell you so far? I'm about a month into the removal process. We'll have another month to go, and later this month I'm going to be seeing my functional medicine doctor again and kind of go over what the next steps are going to be. What I've noticed is I'm definitely sleeping more soundly, and I'm getting up earlier. I don't actually work during the summer. And, I would often get in the bad habit of sleeping in, till later in the morning and, wasting half the day, which I really didn't like, but I was like, it's just a way for me to catch up on my sleep. But now I find I'm sleeping more soundly, and then I wake up refreshed in the morning. I'm ready to get out of bed right away, and I can get up and enjoy the morning, go for a bike ride before it gets too crazy hot. So I've also noticed, like I mentioned in the last video, issues with my gut. I'd find that, I'd eat things that didn't agree with me, and I was getting such bad just head fog and lethargy and inflammation of that. So I've noticed recently, I've been a lot more clear-headed. Like I can think clearly, I can concentrate. My energy's better. I'd say I get less fatigued. Because before basically every day I'd have to lay down for a nap. Now I find if I just, I can just go and have like my 20-minute, half-hour meditate just to kind of decompress and get centered, and that's usually good enough. And some days I don't even need to do that. So another thing I noticed, and it's funny, I had to have a conversation with my wife about this, because I was like, so when you have to go to the bathroom, to have a bowel movement, are you just, you're kind of aware that you need to go because it's kind of uncomfortable, and then you sit down and then you kind of have to push a little, bear down, and then it just comes out, and that's just how it goes? Because this was new to me. Maybe I need to explain. So with my GI issues, or irritable bowel syndrome as they call it, for years it was either I didn't have to go to the bathroom, or sometimes you get constipated, but even I wouldn't feel like I had to go at all. And then if I do have to go, it was I need to go now, now. And then I would go and sit down on the toilet, and it'd be boom, it'd all be out. And that's how I would go to the bathroom. Since being on this protocol, though, I've just noticed, okay, I gotta go. I sit on the toilet, I push a bit, it comes out slower than it used to. And yeah, that was new to me. And I asked her, and she's like, yeah, that's normal. I don't know what you've been doing for, the last 10, 15 years, but yeah, that's normal. So as I said, I have a doctor's appointment later this month, so I will find out what the next steps are going to be, and likely do a follow-up video after that, just to explain what she said. I don't know if I'll be doing another GI map, but there's likely going to be other protocols to follow after that, probably, building up my gut health and strength again. So I hope you took something of value from this video. And again, I'm not giving out medical advice. I'm not a medical professional. I'm just kind of sharing my experience and some of the avenues I've explored that haven't worked so well, and some of the ones that have, and hopefully this can kind of fast track your recovery from your GI issues. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you have a great one.